Hey all, this is Deborah Razzo, the founder of the Women's Real Estate Network, and I'm here with one of my favorite people, Courtney Jones. She's one of my favorite people because she is such a wealth of knowledge. She has been in this real estate industry for, I don't know, should we say, Courtney,
I
30
don't want to hear
years.
it.
30 years, and that's a lot of experience. And that is a lot of knowledge. I jokingly always say that she's forgotten more than I'll ever know, right? I've only been in this real estate industry, I think 13 years. So you're double me, over double me. And she is going to be talking to us next Wednesday about a fast track to cash. We always love fast cash. And it's wholesaling. It's wholesaling. And this is something that she is an expert in. She's expert in wholesaling and all different types of creative financing, but we're going to concentrate on wholesaling. And, let's talk about that. You are, saying that, you have a system that you can in 90 days get to cash. Is that what we're going to learn about on Wednesday?
Yeah, I mean, really, wholesaling is one of those things that's actually pretty simple to learn. It's simple to learn, it's simple to do. It's not easy. There's a lot of work involved, but it is absolutely I would say, the fastest way to cash in the real estate investing arena. And really, what I love about it more than anything is not only is it quick cash, but it's something that you can do with every other business model as well. So if you're a buy and hold investor and apartments are your thing or whatever, you can't buy every single deal that you come across. And so wholesaling allows you a way to kind of monetize things that you're not going to do, because you're not going to buy every single deal, whether that's houses or apartments or whatever. But wholesaling allows you to monetize those deals that you've uncovered that maybe you don't want to buy. And I just love that. And so if you follow a system and you do the simple tasks that it is involved in doing to get the business set up, you can easily have a check in your bank account in 90 days.
I love the distinction that you made, simple but not easy. And I often talk to people about that, because it's like you can fill out the form to make an offer on a piece of an asset, right? But that's simple. We can all learn how to fill out that form, but it's
Right.
not easy in the sense of making sure you have the confidence to run the numbers, to know what it is you're getting yourself into, right? That's really where the hard part is.
Yeah, getting over those mental hurdles that keep you from taking action. That's huge. That's where the work comes in and the discipline comes in. But the
Right.
action itself is a simple action. It's
Right.
sort of like finding motivated sellers. It's not really complicated. Like recently I was talking to somebody, they said they went to a 4-day wholesaling course. And I was like, what the heck did they talk about for 4 days about wholesale? Because I'm going to be able to explain a good 60% of it in the hour we're going to talk. It's
Right.
not that complicated. But then she said that they went into detail and talked about how to find sellers. Well, yeah, you could spend a whole day on that alone if you really want to get into the nitty gritty. We're going to do as much as we can in an hour to uncover and give people kind of a blueprint for where to go and what to do next. Like, how do they find those cash buyers? How do they find those motivated sellers? In a super hot market, which we've all just, been experiencing, of course, the majority of people want full retail or above for their house. But what we're looking for is that small percentage of people who need to sell. They don't just want to sell. And where do we find those? How do we find them? Where do we uncover them? And what do we say to them to get them to understand what we do, what our part in the deal, and what value we bring to the transaction? So
Right.
those are all things I'm going to cover on Wednesday.
Yeah, like expressing yourself and making sure that they understand who it is you are and what it is you're doing. But you mentioned something when we first came on that I think is a really interesting distinction, and I just want to make sure people know this. It's not just single family houses. There are a lot of different assets that you can wholesale. So, I think that's a really important distinction, whether it's an apartment complex, whether it's a small fourplex, whether it's I don't know. There's all kinds of things you could wholesale. Anything that can be sold.
Yeah, I know people who wholesale businesses. I know people who wholesale web addresses, if that's your thing. But I know people who've made high six figures wholesaling an apartment building. If you have the context and you have the business model set up in a way that you're constantly looking for deals, if you don't want to buy that deal, there's people that you're going to build relationships with who may be looking for that. So That's what's so exciting about it to me, is it's sort of all about the deal making and the marketing. And those are two of my favorite things.
Yeah. Well, I think you once said to me, if you like marketing and if you are a great negotiator, then wholesaling is, that you really need to have those, talents or skills.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't like that, like if the idea of negotiating freaks you out, then wholesaling is probably not for you, because that's what you're going to be doing on both ends, when you buy and when you sell, and you're not willing to learn. I mean, you may not have the God-given gift, right out of the canal, the birth canal, but are you willing to learn it? And
Yeah.
if you're willing to learn it, then great. But if you're like, yeah, no, I don't want to do that, that's horrible, then wholesaling isn't a great object for you. But if you're willing to learn it, it's a great money maker. It's super simple to do. It's something you can do with no money out of your pocket. I mean, maybe $10. And it's not hard to learn and be up and running and having cash coming in.
Yeah. I think women are natural negotiators. I think we have to be, because any woman that's run a family, had children, you're negotiating constantly.
Constantly. Yeah. Yeah, I think that we don't necessarily, like, a lot of women will say that to me. They're like, "Oh no, I'm not good at that." And I'm like, "I hear kids in the background. I bet you're a lot better at it than you think you are.
Yeah.
We just aren't trained to think of it in those terms. You got
Right.
to get those kids into bed somehow, some way. And
Right.
if you have to resort to bribery, you can call it bribery. I call it negotiating. Okay, whatever works, it works."
Good point. Good point. All right. So we've talked about finding the buyer end, right? Then you're securing the property, and then you're needing to find a seller end.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the three components, right? Oh my gosh, we've covered wholesaling right here.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we're going to cancel Wednesday, everybody. No, yeah. I mean, you're finding the motivated seller, you're putting it under contract, you're negotiating a really good deal, you're putting it under contract, and then you're selling it. So you're looking for a buyer. And who are those buyers? They're usually rehabbers or landlords for the most part. And we're going to talk a little bit about some creative ways to find them, and how you communicate with them, how you make sure you get top dollar, and how you get protected in the deal, because that's huge. And then, there's a lot of other things along the way. People do things like called daisy chaining and stuff like that, things that I don't personally think are legal. And there's a lot of things going on across the country right now where there's some legal things to wholesaling that you need to know depending on the state that you live in. So we'll cover some of that. Obviously, I'm not an attorney, so I'm not going to give legal advice, but I am going to let you know some of the things that are happening and what to watch out for in your areas.
Yeah, you need to have a good firm heads up about what to look for and what to watch out for. And then I think one of the other points that you're going to hit on, which is so valuable, and I actually so appreciate you for, is your systems. For those of you that haven't worked with Courtney, man, she is a systems girl, and she just hones in on them. And you're going to share some of the best use systems for wholesaling, right?
Yeah, I am. I mean, I wish I could go to everybody's place of business and duplicate them for them, because it makes all the difference in the world. It makes all the difference between getting one deal every 3 months done to one deal every day done type of thing. Just having the right systems in place. I feel like life in general is like that. I'm able to run several businesses, volunteer 20 hours a week, and run a household and a business and everything like that, because I have incredible systems with everything in my life. This can be an annoying thing for a lot of people who work with you, who are more of a fly by the seat of their pants kind of person. But once you train them, and that's what it requires, is training them, it makes you more efficient, and it makes everyone around you more efficient. So I'll talk a little bit about that. I could literally do an entire week on that alone. So, because if I had my way, everyone in the world would have to go to Courtney's school of being organized and creating systems.
I'd sign up, Courtney. I totally sign up. I'm one of those fly by the seat of your pants people you've had to train over the years, and I still do it to you. It's hysterical. Anyway, I wanted everybody to get to know you and let them know what's coming up in our Fast Track to Cash wholesaling event next Wednesday. So if you're at all interested, go to WREN monthly meeting. The URL is in the flyer here, and come and join us and learn a lot about wholesaling. And we would love to have you. Any last words, Courtney?
I just hope everybody's there. Even if you've been an experienced real estate investor and you've possibly seen some wholesaling stuff before, or you're kind of like, hey, I don't wholesale, I just buy and hold. I think you'll find value in it, because there's definitely some ways to monetize the leads that you're getting or that are coming across your inbox. And it's really going to have a little bit of something for everyone.
And I just want to leave by saying, you know, I've known Courtney for a long time, and she has quite a portfolio. And I think it's really interesting. One time she told me, granted this was after a few drinks, that she doesn't have any traditional mortgages on her portfolio, you know. And I think, you know, that's the testament. That's the testament. It's somebody who uses the system on a regular basis to be able to control so much real estate and flourish and cash flow and stuff. So come join us Wednesday night. Go to wrenmonthlymeeting.com and register. It's only $10, and, you know, learn all about wholesaling. Thank you so much, Courtney.